The days crawled forward like shadows, heavy with dread and urgency. The prophecy had declared it, 7 sons remained before the river would vanish completely. And now, one by one, those sons had burned away. The village moved with desperate determination. Men dug shallow channels into the earth, guiding the last streams of water into clay basins. Women lined the banks with calabashes, scooping, pouring, storing every drop they could gather. Children carried gourds on their backs, their small frames straining, but their spirits unbroken. And in the center of it all, not a chief, not an elder, but a boy. Kweku. His voice carried like a drumbeat of its own, steady, urgent, unrelenting. Do not waste a single drop. Seal the pots tightly with clay. Line the pits with leaves so the sun will not drink what is ours. Every hand matters. Every effort counts. No one laughed at him now. No one mocked him as a meddling child. For the drum had spoken, and the prophecy had unfolded before their eyes. And so, the boy once scorned became the guide of his people. On the 6th night, a hush fell over the village. Fires burned low, their smoke curling into a starless sky. Families huddled together, whispering prayers to gods old and forgotten. Some wept quietly. Others stared into the distance, listening to the faint trickle of the river, fearful it would be the last time they ever heard it. Amma sat close to Kweku, her eyes red from fatigue but bright with pride. They believe you now, she said softly. All of them. Even those who cursed your name. Kweku nodded but did not smile. Belief came too late for some. If only they had listened sooner, the water we lost, his voice broke, heavy with the memory of spilled pots and wasted time. Kwabena, the herbalist, rested a hand on Kweku's shoulder. Do not carry the blame alone. You warned us. You carried a burden too great for your years, and still you stood firm. If we survive this, it will be because of you. The boy lowered his gaze. If we survive. Above them, the moon hung pale and watchful, as if it too waited for the 7th sun. And then, it came. The 7th night. From the moment dawn broke, the land seemed to hold its breath. The villagers gathered near the riverbank, their eyes wide with terror and awe. What had once been a rushing artery of life was now little more than a scar of cracked mud. Pools of water shimmered weakly, shrinking with each hour beneath the merciless sun. By midday, only a single stream remained, thin as a ribbon of silver. Women knelt, scooping frantically, their calabashes scraping against the stones. Men dug deeper into the sand, searching for hidden veins. But the earth was drying faster than they could chase it. By sunset, even the ribbon was gone. The river was no more. A silence fell so deep it seemed the world itself had ended. Children clutched their mothers. Elders stared at the barren ground, their faces hollow with despair. And then, like a spark in the darkness, the memories of the past week flooded them all. A flashback etched into every heart, men and women laboring through the night, digging channels by torchlight. Children carrying gourds, their laughter softening the burden. Kwabena teaching them how to line pits with herbs to keep water cool. Amma sealing pots with layers of clay, her hands blistered but unwavering. And at the center of it all, Kweku, urging, guiding, warning. The river had died, but they had prepared. Because the boy had dared to listen. That night, the village gathered in the courtyard. No drums were played. No songs were sung. Only silence, heavy and waiting. In the center stood Chief Otto, his proud shoulders bowed, his eyes dimmed by shame. Slowly, he stepped forward until he stood before the boy. Every eye watched. Every breath stilled. Kweku, he said, his voice trembling with a weight it had never carried before, I was wrong. The words fell like rain after drought, shocking, cleansing, humbling. I mocked you. I silenced you. I destroyed the water you saved. And in my pride, I nearly destroyed us all. Yet you, though a child, did what no elder, no chief, no leader could do. You carried truth when we would not hear it. The chief bent his head low, a gesture no one had ever seen from him before. Forgive me, Kweku. Forgive my blindness. A murmur spread through the crowd, not of scorn, but of awe. For the boy had not only moved the people, he had moved the chief. Kweku's heart pounded. He looked at the man who had once ridiculed him, who had spilled their lifelines into the earth. And in that moment, he saw not an enemy, but a man burdened by his own fear. I forgive you, Kweku said softly. But never again ignore the truth, no matter whose voice carries it. The chief raised his head, tears glistening in his eyes. Never again. And then, the drum. It stood silent through the ceremony, its great body looming in the moonlight. The people waited, half expecting another prophecy to thunder forth. But none came. Its silence was heavy, final, as though its purpose had been fulfilled. The villagers dispersed slowly, each carrying the weight of the prophecy, each carrying hope wrapped in fear. The water they had stored would sustain them for a time, but not forever. Yet they no longer moved in despair, they moved in unity, bound by the truth they had once denied. Kweku lingered, standing before the drum long after the others had gone. The courtyard was empty, the fires dying, the night deep and still. He placed a hand on its carved frame, feeling the cool wood beneath his palm. Thank you, he whispered. For trusting me. For trusting us. And then, so faint he wondered if he imagined it, he heard it. A single beat. Low. Gentle. Like the echo of a distant heartbeat. He froze, breath caught in his chest. Again, the beat came, fainter still, as if carried on the wind. Not a warning, not a prophecy. Just a reminder. That the drum still lived. That the story was not over. That somewhere, in some time yet to come, another voice would be chosen. Kweku smiled faintly, his eyes glistening as he turned and walked away. And as he disappeared into the shadows. Some say the drum still speaks, but only to those who dare to listen.